But damn, how you find this spot, bro?
Just walking around.
Like,
Oh no, my young neophyte brother, one of my top students, he put me on to this joint. We had came here one day. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, he put me on to this spot.
It's funny, when he met me, I was having my pentagram from him. Cause I was like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't want to scare him off.
And then I told her, I'm like, I'm like, what's that right there? She's like, oh, what? What are you talking about? I'm like, stop playing on me. What is that?
I'm like, you talking about the arm trying to play?
Yeah.
I'm trying to. Like, he already seen it because I guess I moved a certain way in his shoulder.
Yeah.
Not only that,
because I went there only for that.
Just to meet me. And
some people will not work with you when they.
Okay, now I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from. Now you're talking about a business.
So you gotta play a role. You gotta play a role.
Yeah, you gotta dumb yourself down.
Not everybody gotta know what I'm into. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, you said you already. You say you always be drawn to people like that. So.
Exactly. It just happened. Oh yeah.
Empress is here.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. You ready to order?
Yeah. I'll have the Ito Steve.
Good choice.
Thank you.
Alright. Anything to drink?
Oh, where's the drink menu?
Oh, that's the juice for you.
Give me some liquor.
They ain't got no liquor in here.
Because it ain't vegan.
It's all fruit. Oh, did you ask? I'll ask.
Oh, no, I didn't ask.
I'll ask for you.
I appreciate that, brother.
I would like the
Synergy? Yeah, sure. Okay.
That sounds good. That's it. You got lemon in it. I'm always drinking stuff with lemon. Got lemon and ginger.
I'm good for now. I'll keep looking now.
All right.
Yeah, I get the surgery.
Appreciate it, man.
I said surgery.
The synergy.
But I like doing an experiment on myself. That's how I end up tapping in. Like I'll be like, let me see what happens if I don't have sex for 6 months. With the spiritual thing. Let me see what it's like let me see what happens when I don't eat for 3 days. Let me see what it's like if I don't sleep for 2 days. And every time I try that, some shit happens with my third eye. Like me astral projecting, I can astral project if I deprive myself from sleeping. I make myself mentally.
Because you go deeper into a trance when you deprive yourself from the regular cycle of sleeping. That's excellent. That's excellent. That's excellent.
I'm always locked up in my crib. Niggas be thinking I'm trying to,
Yeah, but you're really traveling through the spirit.
Peace, brother. All right. You see, yeah, I told you.
I do experiments like, let me not go around humans and see what happens with me. So I stay away from people on purpose for like 2-3 weeks. And so a lot of times my energy is more because I'm not giving it to nobody. I'm just locked up in the house. I'm talking about no phone conversation.
What's going on is you're getting a purity aspect because you're separating yourself from anything that's lower than you. So therefore, tapping into yourself is almost like rejuvenating yourself to a higher source.
It gets addicted. I was doing it so much.
It makes sense.
I was doing it so much. I realized I was too much into the other realm, and I forgot about.
You're lost into it.
It's like
You're
I
lost
didn't want
into
to
it.
come back.
You're lost
It's like
into
I couldn't wait to die. I couldn't wait to die. That kind of feeling.
Or transition. I don't even like that word, die or death. Yeah.
But one time, my mother had to send somebody to knock on my door because I was doing it one time for 3 months straight. I had the money for the rent, so I didn't have to go out and work. So I was just locked up for 3 months until I mastered the astral projection. I wanted to master it that bad.
You know what's key to that though? You know what's key to that though? Being in complete absolute darkness for that time frame. When I say complete absolute darkness, I mean even if you have a clock that has a button that has a light on it, cover that shit with black tape. I'm talking about triple blackness, and what that does, that opens the pineal. So during those time frames, you said 3 days. 3 is the representation of expression. 72 adds up to 9. which is the 72 hours. 9 is completion. You see what I'm saying? So
That's my
you're
number
actually,
too, I'm a 9.
you're a 9? Okay, that
I
explains
like
a lot.
that.
That
I
explains
like
a lot.
Papa's a 9.
And so if you notice, you keep
So I
talking
can't wait
about,
to get on that side.
if you notice,
Wait.
you keep talking about being androgynous, but remember the number 9 is complete. Every time it deals with any other number of itself, it turns back to itself. 9 times 9, 81. 8, 1, that's 9. You see what I'm saying? Anytime
Even
it's
my
dealing with
birthday's
derivative.
January 8th, 1980.
So therefore, your energy is completion. What's completion? Completion is being androgynous. Because you don't have a missing half. You don't have something that needs to complete
That's
you.
why I be
You
telling
already
people
one in
I'm
the
not
whole.
out here searching for nobody like half these girls out here. Like, I'm just being free. I'm just living here.
You can always have a complement and a polarity, but the need to complete yourself
I
is a
feel, I'm
difference.
telling you, I can have fun by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Dance to music and nobody not around.
That's why one of the worst
Have fun
things.
here, nobody not there. And
One
I
of
don't feel
one of the worst things I think they did to us is that they made us think that talking to yourself makes you crazy, or is the representation of being crazy. Because talking to yourself is probably one of the most spiritual things you can do. Because I just did a recent video called the Feminine Trinity, and women don't understand that you have multiple beings that live inside you. And I'm not even talking about the aspect we just went into with the men thing. I'm talking about just naturally as a woman, you have a little girl that lives inside of you. You have a soldier that lives inside of you.
And that's why I have a sword. Because people will see it and think they can fuck with me. You get what I'm trying to say? They see the innocence. But they don't know that I know it's there too. But people automatically think, I'm gonna fuck with her because she got a fire inside. I see the little girl in there. But that's why I'm sword. I got the sword waiting, nigga. I'm here. Like, I know I got the girl. They see the little girl, they automatically think they can test me. Or they try to take advantage of me because they see that vulnerable side. Not knowing I know it's there too. You know what I mean? I know it's there. A lot of people don't know they got that innocence. I know. So people might be like, oh, she seems so innocent. I have girls say that to me, and they don't like me after that. And I look at it like they don't like the innocence in themselves. So when they see it in me, they get turned off.
But your projection of it is showing them their lack of certain aspects.
Yeah, like how you mad that you see an innocence in me? Like, what's so bad about that? But they get turned off.
It reveals your sin. Your innocence reveals their sin, for lack of a better word. I don't like using it. That's what it reveals.
You seem so, and the guy was like innocent. They was like, yeah, like they. And I'm like, whatever you seeing, don't forget I got like 10 other sides.
When something or someone is too clean, it reveals how dirty you are. You understand what I'm saying? When you're interacting or in the presence of somebody whose energy is high, whose hygiene is immaculate, you go, wait a second, I'm a dirty motherfucker. You never realize that because you're always around people who are either just as dirty as you or more dirty than you. Exactly. And I only use that as a as a comparison, dirt and stuff. But we're talking about innocence.
Yeah, but just recently I had a girl said that to me. We all talking. She met me for the first time, but she was kind of turned off by it. And I'm like, maybe it's something in her she don't like. That's not a bad trait. You know what I'm saying? If you see, she saw it. I be trying to hide it with the toughness, but people still see it. I can't really block it.
Since you brought that up, sometimes the suppressing. See, when you try to hide something, what are you really saying? You're suppressing it.
No.
Like,
sometimes I hope nobody see it. It depends on where I'm at. If I'm around good people, I don't mind. But if I'm around a bunch of scavengers, I'm hoping they don't see it. Because automatically they start targeting you because they like, oh shit, target. But that's why I have that shield of the sword. To let them know, nigga, I see it too and you're not going to fuck with it. So some people might see it and their agenda is negative.
or the intention.
It's just like seeing an innocent kid. Or let me kidnap them and rape them. They're innocent. And that's what people think like that. Remember we were saying it when you act nice, people think you're stupid?
Yep. That's
It's kind of the same thing.
It's funny you say that because etymology, by etymological aspect, nice does mean stupid.
Yeah, I know. Back in the day,
It does by etymology. It means a simple-minded person. Oh, he's a nice guy. It means simple-minded.
And it literally meant you stupid too. You heard about that, right? It meant you was stupid if somebody said you was nice.
It means an imbecile. It means simple-minded.
Wow.
That's why it's very important to study etymology. A lot of us don't study the origin of words.
We good, man. We good. What did you order?
I ordered the Impossible Burger. Same shit.
I'm taking all of y'all food. You know how they say girls be eating guys?
That's the truth. And see, that goes into another thing I always talk about. The feminine is everything. So since the feminine is everything, you attract and desire everything. Yes, bro.
Only wine.
Only wine?
Yeah.
Oh, we got wine? Cool. They don't have it. I don't have wine, but we can bring wine.
Technically, we don't want any alcohol in here.
Yeah. Wine is allowed?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
That's my language. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, though, bro.
What do you think? You thinking? Because I think there's close. I don't know where's the closest. Because I know the closest one is further down there, but there gotta be one on this side. Because I never come to this side.
About the GPS shit, hold up.
Yeah. Type that in. Because we on
I
227.
just
So.
feel like taking a shot or something. I don't know why I do it. I don't know what, but something.
Yeah, sure.
And even this setting, you know,
one
this
shot.
setting
They
is
got
the
the
setting for
type
spirit.
of yeah.
Remember, it ain't wine, it's spirit.
It ain't spit exactly.
It's amazing how I met y'all just from a thing on Airbnb thing.
Oh, bruh. That's why I don't question anything. I just trust who I
And that
am.
is not coincidence or accident.
Yeah, I
doesn't exist.
Yeah,
that's why you see I'm not afraid to live.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to live in
I know.
that closed in and because I learned that a long time ago that a part of my journey of knowing who I am is from the New World and meeting different people. It's a
Every
part of it.
experience is a lesson that you gather and it turns into wisdom. Me and the brother was just talking about it. His travels is what I'm able to tap in through him. But then I might have an accumulation of knowledge that he gets to get through me. Because wisdom is experience, but knowledge is accumulation of information. So there's two different things. They're not the same. That's why wisdom is more feminine.
Some people will read a book and think they nah, but you don't have no experience. I have people talk to me about the Astral thing, and I'm like, but you haven't done it.
Yeah.
Right. You can tell me about
They give you the Wikipedia.
Yeah, what
The
you researched.
Wikipedia definition. Yeah.
And I'll be like, I'm not talking about you dreaming, I'm talking about you consciously come out of your body. You're already doing it, but do you know you're doing it? Are you can you say, I want to go left, I want to go right? I want to go to... I have met... They got some people that can do it.
Oh, shit, let me do it.
Awake too. You can do it while you're awake too.
Absolutely.
I met a guy that he said he went to the Million Man March from his crib. Projected.
Well, you know what's funny? We seem
energy.
to associate astral travel with being asleep, but it's really just using the subconscious.
It's something called tease. Tease mind flicking.
Where is it
I
at?
wish he was in my house now so I can show him this book.
Show him
I got.
everything. Yeah. Oh, your cult books.
Yeah, I have this book called Sacromancy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
I got that too.
and it talks about the projection. You can just stay, like if I can't find something, I can look for it by sitting in one place and look all over the room. And I'm sitting in one place and I can look everywhere,
But-
and I'll find it and just go pick it up. It's
Hold
so
up.
wasting my energy.
Yeah,
This-
because stillness
this-
is divinity.
This goes back to what I just said earlier in the call. Remember, everything that we're in right here is one mind. It's not separated. See, this is why telepathy, this is why astral projection, all these things are possible because all you're doing is taking away the so-called sheets or walls that separate you from the all one mind. So you're not necessarily doing something outside of yourself. You're actually separating the veil that makes you think that it's
Yes.
fractionalized.
And to make and not just the veil, continue to what you're saying. We're also I'm also doing that thing where we think we don't know, but we already know.
Of course.
Like when you can't find
It's
your
in the
key, you know where it
subconscious.
is. So I use that knowledge, like even though my human side don't know where it is, I know where it is.
Your
So
frontal lobe don't know,
You know
but your
what I'm saying?
subconscious knows.
Yeah.
It's a difference.
But I can't do it when people talking to me. They have to stay quiet for me to look.
Right.
It's like if you stay
Stillness
quiet,
and quietness.
and then okay, it's under the TV. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
but
This
if
is
you
her,
talking
right?
to me, I
Believe
get
this is her.
distracted and shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
So what it said? Tease?
Tease, 3-minute walk.
3-minute walk? So what's up? You want to take it?
What's the
Yeah,
tease?
And we'll stay.
Yeah.
Since we
Yeah,
on right now,
I'm
right?
tapped in.
What y'all talking about?
Huh?
Are y'all doing?
To get the
No,
wine.
he's gonna go get some
Oh,
wine.
I thought the guy said he had one.
No, he don't
No, I
have
don't
one.
have it. You
I
gotta
asked
get
him
it.
permission
Yeah,
if we
before
could
you
drink
was in
it
the
here.
bathroom, he was asking if we could bring it.
Yeah.
But then
Oh.
And he
soon
said
as
only wine. You got a
You know we
specific
can
type?
put it in our pocket and just.
Nah, we don't roll like that. You got a specific taste of wine that you like?
I mean, I only drink wine, so.
Not too dry.
Yeah,
Dry?
you want something sweet, right?
What's your thing?
Like right in the middle.
Moscato is a good medium.
Yeah, you should just
Moscato.
Moscato? I like Pinot. I like strong shit.
You
I
like
want to have
Pinot
a taste.
Oh, you're not talking
I
about
like the
white shit.
13% wine, Pinot Grigio,
Listen, I'm living
anything
this.
that's
I like
strong.
You
any
think
wine. It don't
Moscato
matter.
is not strong?
That's Moscato's usually like 9%.
You should give me 50.
But it depends on the company too.
Yeah.
Some
Well,
Moscato's
brother,
strong.
get a big ass bottle. Okay? Yeah, man.
A Moscato?
Whatever's left. Get something real nice.
Say less. I got
Real
you.
nice.
You know I'm the wine king. I do
Yes,
that.
sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
But now, what was we just talking about? Because I wanted to chime in.
You was
You was
talking
talking
about,
about.
oh yeah, you saying we're all connected. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But
that's
it's
what
an
allows
illusion
it.
that we think it's amazing, right? The illusion.
You've been. It's no difference between looking through a pair of glasses that are broken. Because when you look through a pair of glasses that are broken, you see things within fractions. But the glasses is giving you the illusion that things are fractionalized. Once you take them off, you see things clearly. So once you've been told that everything is physical and that the polarity or the complement to the physical, which is spiritual, is not real, it's pseudoscience because you can't feel it or detect it in the physical realm. Now you grow up believing that and everything only becomes one-sided. That's the worst thing the European has ever done to us, make things
See
one-sided.
how amazing though? It's the worst thing. And you see how I'm reacting cool with you and talking? People be wondering, like, why you acting like that? They don't realize you're receiving what you're feeling. So they acting off it. But on the outside, they'll act like they're oblivious to it. And I'm looking at them like, yo, we all connected, so you can't talk to me sideways and think I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to pick it up because I'm going by, I'm feeling what you're saying.
And you're naturally, see the thing about the feminine is the feminine goes both ways as an emitter and an absorber. So you project energy and you absorb energy simultaneously. So if you ever notice, I've been talking to, because I do consultations too. I've been talking to a lot of women and they'll go, it's funny, it's like when I get around a passive man, I just automatically get aggressive, I automatically get dominant. And I don't know why, because I'm naturally submissive. But then I understand you're playing off that energy. So as soon as you're in the presence of a certain type of man with a certain type of low energy or a certain type of passive energy, automatically you become what he's supposed to be. Because you absorb that and then you admit what he's missing. You see what I'm saying? But then you'll get around a masculine or a dominant man and you'll naturally fall into water. Because remember, water
I'm
has
telling
3
you,
forms.
When I'm around like dominant man that's not trying to like suppress my energy, I have mad feminine.
And there's a difference, and that's the problem today. That's the difference.
Mad feminine.
That's the difference. We don't know the difference between dominance and abuse. We confuse the two. We think dominance is a form of aggression, suppression, and abuse. So that's why when you hear the word.
Like even how we respond to, like I was telling this guy one time, I'm gonna always come at you and talk to you like that because you don't acknowledge me and you take it like I'm saying kiss my ass. And I'm like, that's not what I mean. If you're looking at me like I'm like inferior, Eve that gave Adam the thing, it's all our fault, blah blah blah. I'm gonna come at you like a certain way. But if you acknowledge that I'm powerful too, then I'm gonna respect you. And a lot of guys don't get that. Like it's how you moving sometimes by the person act like that towards you. In other words, females know who to mess with. Because I see a girl act real messed up with some dudes, and when some dudes come around on the best behavior. I'm like, wow.
I've seen dykes. I've seen dykes that claim to be masculine get around you and start crossing their legs and start asking for hugs, and then you ready to pound them, and you're like, oh, come on, get out of here. And I'm like, first of all, nigga, okay, put your hat on the right way, pull up your fucking pants, you know what I'm saying? Because you still are wearing the symbols of the masculine.
No matter how, they're still following the male. Still following the male. Look, I'm noticing no matter how independent a female might say she is, I'm still following the male.
You are still submitting to some form of masculine
To
energy.
say that, a lot of females will not admit what I just said, but like I said, I'm about truth. Truth is truth. We do. You know what I truth? I could be going through a jam. Calling them niggas to say what they think. So I can figure out what to think about what I'm thinking about. You know what I'm saying? I call my male friends to say, I don't call females, I call them
Because you're looking for order, direction, and alignment. But I'll put it to you like this, because I always like to relate things to the elements. And remember, the feminine is water. So if you notice, water flows to a current. If there's no current, then water stays stable into one spot. You see what I'm saying? The current is the male. And if you notice, current is also related to currency or current as in electricity, which is the masculine again. So I say that to say that as water, when y'all are in your natural liquid state, you're always looking for a form of current or flow to direct in. And a lot of times, unfortunately today, these men are feminine and you've been taught not to trust men, so you go look to water for more advice, and then you get more water, then you get more water, and you get the tide coming in
it's funny you said the worst is when you go to a male for advice, but they all think feminine.
Yeah, they all feminine. You ever
And
talk
when
to
they're
somebody?
like that, they give you wrong advice.
Hold up, notice.
They're going the wrong way.
You ever try to talk to somebody about your problem and they turn it into their own? And it's almost like they're waiting for you to stop talking so they can express their problem instead. You're like, wait a second, I called you to get advice on my problem. Why are you talking about yours right now? You know? Okay, all right. Impossible burgers. Those are the impossible burgers, yes.
Oh, yeah, I didn't order
those are the
that.
impossible
Yeah, you got the
burgers.
others too. It's coming right now.
Oh, I'm so tempted to eat his fries.
Why you don't eat his food, man?
I want to eat his fries so bad.
I'll take some of my fries if you want.
Yeah, because I'm always around guys. Always around guys, and I know when they're not giving me good advice. You know what I'm saying? I can tell.
It's about reading energy. It's about being receptive and being open. And one
It's
thing,
because they think like a girl. But when guys that think like a girl, they don't know they think like a girl.
no, because nobody's ever telling them. Nobody is raising children to understand the difference in polarity and gender and energies and how they work in contrast with each other. Nobody's raising anybody like that. We're raising them with this notion of equality, not understanding that balance has nothing to do with 50-50. Balance is a form of 80-20, 70-30. You see what I'm saying? Because as a woman, your anatomy and your biology is correlated with your right brain. You understand what I'm saying? Your right brain is what holds creativity. Your right brain was holds your intuition.
That's the part they're trying to shut down.
Oh, now see, your shit look like something. Hold up. Wait a second. This looks like two different places. That look like some mama made on Sunday.
I can't wait. My mom is ordering.
That look completely different.
But I know why they have everybody turning on each other, man. I realized the secret, man, I'm telling you, I was locked up in the house myself, and I realized they're always helping us because they need us to manifest.
Sustain. You're a sustainer. You keep them alive.
No, but we're not just sustaining, we're sustaining whatever they made up.
Yeah, that's what I'm
But
saying.
they're making up dumb shit.
Yeah.
But the guys that out here don't know that. They just looking at us like piece of shit. They don't realize that, the female energy could help you create reality. All you gotta do is make sure you don't treat them like shit. Don't just throw me in their backside, but they're taking it like I'm saying kiss ass. I'm not saying kiss our ass. I'm saying if they stress, your life will be a living hell. I'm not saying you're responsible for us being stressed. I'm saying if keep it real. If you got 3 girls, let them know. If you got 4, let everybody know.
See
You don't
now,
gotta lie, you know what I'm saying?
I got
Once
it.
they start going through stress, and you fucking them, they're gonna think negative of you the whole time. So imagine somebody thinking negative of you and fucking them. That's why these guys get in trouble, because the girls already get you in bad luck. Get you
manifesting aspect.
and then you bringing it down.
It's no different than a woman who's constantly talking about a man cheating and then she manifests women in that man's life. Because a woman that's so focused on a man being with another woman doesn't understand that she creates the opportunity and the potential for other women to be attracted to him. And then he can actually get into a problem or trouble because a new female coworker showed up at his job out of nowhere one day. All of a sudden, one day she needed his help somewhere in the parking
You're
lot or
basically
whatever.
saying she kind of created it.
She created, yes.
She's thinking
She
about it
created
every day,
She
and then
created
she
it,
having
yes.
sex with him and bringing it down in her mind, having sex.
Because the woman is the purest form of manifestation and she's magnetic. So what she vibrates on magnetizes towards her, and it becomes a reality in her life.
Teach the youths, man, these young cats. Because I'm telling you, to be able to admit that as a man, that's a lot of maturity. Because a lot of them don't want to admit that. No matter how conscious they say they are, they don't want to admit that. One important part. It's like that part they act like they don't know this and take all the other good stuff in. But that part, that's the most important part.
So our egos get in the way, man. And once again, like I said
We
earlier,
need more guys talking like how you know what I'm saying? To teach these youth that like they be thinking that I be telling them you don't see me going through hell. I think you're going through hell. Because you go through hell. That's why and if you having sex with them and treat them like shit, you making it worse.
you're concentrating that energy.
Even my homeboy Panic was telling them that one time, if you got more than one girl, you don't lie about who you are. That's one of the keys.
That's cowardice anyway.
He said when he let his girl be herself, she started acting more feminine. That's simple.
And see, we don't understand. We don't understand that when we are constantly trying to deny what we have and what we are, we're building resistance within the woman. When I pretend like I'm not talking to another woman, or when I pretend like there's not another woman in my life, I feel resistance in her, because we also forget on a physical level. I'm not even going to talk about the metaphysical. On a physical level, every time I'm with a woman, her essence gets absorbed into my skin. And those pheromones come out of my pores. That's why, if you notice, most men get caught, quote unquote, cheating, and I hate that term, is because as soon as you lay with a woman, her pheromones are coming out of your pores now. I don't care how many showers you took. A woman knows what a woman smells like. So you can't get away with that. And then when you lie on top of it, you build, exactly. When you lie on top of it, you build resistance within the woman now. So now she can't even achieve orgasm when you have sex.
In my case, I'll see the other woman's memory. I could be messing with. I don't know when they start messing with somebody. Because they start acting like they, because they're but they don't know how people. It's like I'm so in tune. I'm like, that's not his character. He's fucking some people. That's how I know men absorb things.
Didn't you know silverware? They only gave you silverware, huh? I ain't gonna lie, I should have told him. That was my fault, because I do not do mayonnaise.
I ain't gonna lie, that's not really good.
Yeah, I don't do the mayonnaise.
But really, y'all, I'm so in tune. I know when they got me thinking. They start acting different. I'm like, yeah.
Now, speaking on that one, let me add this into there. In my
No
opinion,
matter how conscious a girl is, if you tell her, she'll respect you more if you tell her the truth. Even if she's not awake. Even you don't got nothing to do with consciousness. Women respect you more when you tell the truth than when you lying around behind the
now let me add this in there. Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Why are you taking it off? That's a good side.
I don't know. I don't like mayonnaise. I should have told him. That's my fault though, because he brought us our burgers the same. I've never liked mayonnaise. I hate mayonnaise.
Good for you.
I don't know. Crazy.
Mayonnaise or anything.
That goes out what I say. I guess he figured it's a burger. I don't know. Make sure that's what my mayonnaise. Man.
I don't think that's mayonnaise. Oh, this one. If it's a vegan store, they're not going to use mayo. It's going to be something that looks like mayo.
Yeah.
Vegan people don't sell mayo in their stores. Like, it's probably a fake mayonnaise.
Possible, but either way, I don't want no part of it.
Now, when I tell the ones that's not aware of that, about that, they think I'm saying, oh, you don't, so you saying kiss y'all ass. And I'm like, that's not what I mean. You take your ego, man. That's not
Ego, man.
I'm not talking about kiss our ass. I'm talking about if you stretched out your whole reality gonna shut down over there. You know what I'm saying? They don't believe me. They think I'm threatening them. Like, I'm talking about energy.
And the woman harbors energy. She needs to release it, but she harbors it if she doesn't have an outlet. And today y'all don't have outlets. Not only do y'all not have outlets, but y'all are taught that y'all emotions make y'all weak, which is the exact opposite. Because your power comes from your emotion. Your magnetism comes from your energy in motion. That's what emotions are. So when you try to suppress that, you actually become more weaker. And not only that, you begin to manifest ailments within your body. whether it's a headache, a backache,
Fibroid.
acne, fibroids, all type of shit.
Cancer.
Exactly. Because that suppression of something that needs to be released manifests itself on a physical aspect, representing what it is in a negative.
Yeah.
Because what you're suppressing is something that needs to be released, that needs to be expressed, because it's holding negative in your body.
Yeah.
And when you keep holding
The
it.
physical manifestation is the last result of what's going on from the spiritual all the way down. Because it's as above, so below. I be telling people drinking water ain't gonna do shit. You're gonna have to fix your damn emotions, your thoughts.
I don't care how many vegan burgers you have.
Water all you want.
I don't care how many fake ass meditations you do. If your mind
Juice all you want.
doesn't matter.
People cut out soda all you want. Because I know people that do that and they still got a big lump in their teeth. And their mind is fucked.
Because you're harboring something. You know what's the worst, to me in my opinion? Them namaste motherfuckers. The ones that think that you can be 100% positive all the time. The ones that think that the universe is going to give me everything and blah, blah, blah. You don't understand that. Nothing in existence is 100%. So when you try to discard the emotion of anger, when you try to discard the emotion of sexuality or lust, when you try to put that to the side like it doesn't exist. Yeah, we're good, bro. You try to put that aside like it doesn't exist. You actually begin, peace, brother. You actually begin to lose. Because remember, the root chakra is what needs to be stimulated for you to reach the crown. So, hello, you can't rip the root chakra away.
That's why when people come around me, I'm like, you have to know at least from the chakra first.
It's a spectrum.
You can't just know magic and just go. You gotta know who you are first before you do anything else.
It's a spectrum, and we're not looking at it as a spectrum.
They want to start from the roots. They want to start from the third eye be open, and they still got issues on the root chakra. You know how I know from experience? I have tried to bypass all the chakra and end up having to go back down. Start all over again. I was telling you, I got like 11 years worth of doing it. And when I try to do it the fast way, I had to go back down and deal with some issues, some past life, some issue when I was a little girl. You know what I'm saying? I have to master the sex energy. And that sex energy is hard to master, man. That's a powerful energy, man.
It is.
I see why it's so hard.
That's why it's a creative energy.
I had to master the sex energy, man. Like,
It's a creative energy.
say no to people, no. You know what I mean? Like, master it, like, it's a lot of work. I'm telling people it's a lot of work, and niggas don't want to do the work.
Nope. Consistency is key to everything. A lot of us are not consistent. You try something once and we expect direct results immediately. It doesn't work like that.
Somebody was telling me they can't believe I'm still studying after all these years because a lot of people fall off. They lose interest.
They don't have an intention to know. They just have an intention to project and act like they know. A lot of people get into so-called consciousness to get into intellectual combat. Or to get into, yeah, there you go. Or a form of verbal masturbation, where they can sound intellectual, use big words in order to feed the ego. So you read a couple of books, you project what you read in order to prove that you're smart.
But no experience.
You see?